Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you to the City Council meeting for November 2nd, 2023. Before we begin, everyone please silence or shut off your cell phones. If we can do that real quick, thank you. And let's get this show on the road, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. Hello, fellow Hamiltonians and people who don't live in Hamilton. And welcome to November 2nd, 2023 Civic Day City Council meeting. We are so grateful to have you present with us today as we discuss the impending issues or implications vital to the city of Hamilton. All right, we're first going to start off with the offer of prayer after we do our call to order. Benson Keep.
Lux.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Balster.
Here.
Carruthers.
Here.
R. Parsons.
Here.
Crazel.
Here.
C. Parsons.
Here.
All in attendance.
Moving on to the offer of prayer. City Clerk, please.
All right. This doesn't seem right to pick this up with a stand, but here we go. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, Lord of heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
All right, now we move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, now we move on to our special presentations, which will be the proclamations. Baden will go first.
We would like to call down Adam Shuckman for him to receive a proclamation.
Whereas Mr. Adam Shuckman, a Stephen T. Baden High School teacher whose commitment to education and student success has improved the quality of learning at Baden High School and benefited the community of Hamilton. Whereas Mr. Shuckman, a devoted teacher and coach who perpetually works to show his students and players that he cares for their education and future successes. And whereas Mr. Shuckman completed his high school career at Baden High School and higher level education at Miami University. He has consistently worked and persevered to obtain his undergraduate degree in history, along with his master's in arts of teaching and integrated social studies. And whereas Mr. Shuckman spent his time playing Baden football and working to pay for his own as well as his younger brother's tuition at Baden. From working full-time jobs throughout high school and college to maintaining a positive spirit and a can-do attitude, he demonstrates to the students that hard work truly pays off, and he has found his way back to Baden, where he has taught almost every social studies course available at the high school. Not only is he knowledgeable in his field of teaching, always stating hilarious fun facts from history, but he's also a passionate coach who fosters the development of his players and directs the technology behind the popular Baden football games. Whereas Mr. Shuckman is a great example to all those around him, colleagues and peers alike. He's a pillar in the academic, athletic, and social community of Stephen T. Baden High School, as well as the city of Hamilton, and continues to act as an influential model for others. And now, therefore, I, Aaron McMillan, Civic Day City Manager of the City of Hamilton, Ohio, and members of Hamilton City Council, do hereby proclaim the 3rd of November, 2023, as Mr. Shuckman Day in the city of Hamilton, Ohio. Congratulations, Mr. Shuckman, for truly making a difference in the lives of his students through his constant hard work, dedication to student learning, and passion for teaching at Baden High School.
Thank you. I knew about this a few days ago, obviously, but it's kind of special. Often teachers don't really get a lot of accolades, right? We usually hear the negative side of things more often, so I appreciate this greatly. Thank you.
We would like to call up Ms. Gabrielle Reardon for the proclamation. All right, starting off today, Miss Reardon, apologies, this is not your proclamation. We put a lot of hard work into this, and I asked the person maybe on Monday how long his speech would go on if he received this, and he said we'd be here all day. So Mr. Steve Braun, can you please come up here? Okay, now we're actually going to shake your hands. Let me tell you, this has been like months going. All right. Whereas Mr. Steve Braun, a Hamilton High School social studies teacher, has shown commitment and passion for the students and staff throughout Hamilton High and has enhanced the environment at Hamilton High School. And whereas Mr. Braun, a Hamilton High School alumni, attended the Ohio State University, receiving a bachelor's degree in comprehensive social studies education in late 1989. And whereas Mr. Braun returned to the city of Hamilton, where he now celebrates his 32nd year educating students in the district, currently teaching American government and financial literacy. And whereas Mr. Braun is a symbol of tradition and passion, always making sure to preserve and sustain the programs that have been the foundation of Hamilton High. Most recently, he helped bring back the Civic Day program after last year, prior to COVID-19, halted the program for almost 2 years after formerly participating in the program for 20+ years. And whereas he has been recognized as an asset for every group with whom he worked for the commission, the entire organization turned around due to his positivity, work ethic, outreach, and funds directed to our veterans. And whereas Mr. Braun, in his former years, was heavily and is still involved in swimming, whether it be at HHS or the Butler County community, Steve Braun has truly displayed dedication to the sport. He participated in the sport at Hamilton throughout his high school career, eventually returning to the team in the 1991-1992 season, coaching until the late 90s. Most recently, he was selected for the position of head coach at Hamilton Middle School, which he has held the position for the past 2 years. Whereas Mr. Braun's contribution to the Butler County community is substantial, especially in terms of swimming. He formerly coached the Fairfield Flippers and the GMBY Wahoos until they shut down. Furthermore, he has coached at Rolling Hills Swim Club in Fairfield for officially 30 years, coaching every summer since 1993. Mr. Braun is the current head coach, working with around 100 athletes every season. Moreover, he led the team to victory in the Butler County Swim League Championships in 2014 and 2018. And whereas Mr. Braun truly showcases his leadership skills and ability to work with others so much that Rolling Hills Swim Team dedicated the pool in his name. So the pool at Rolling Hills is forever officially known as the Steve Braun Competition Pool. And whereas Mr. Braun has continued to inspire and aid students, both former and current, leading them to prosper in their future endeavors, careers, and athletics. And now, therefore, I, Riley Lux, Civic Day Mayor of the City of Hamilton, Ohio, and members of the Hamilton City Council, do hereby proclaim November 2nd, 2023 as Steve Braun Day. Thank you for making an impact on students' lives, therefore making an impact on City of Hamilton and making it a better place.
This has kind of caught me by surprise because this wasn't what was planned. Okay. And I think Mrs. Reardon and some of my colleagues have been kind of working behind my back a little bit. But seriously, I don't know what to say except thank you. It's been a wonderful journey and it's still going on, and I've loved every bit of it. And I think that's about it. This is going to be, usually I'm known for giving really long speeches, but you can tell Mrs. Wagner that I actually didn't do that this time. Okay? Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Reardon, for showing up. You already have a copy of yours that will be submitted to you tonight. All right, now we move on to the audience of citizens, where individuals who wish to make comments regarding the items on the scheduled agenda may do this with a 3-minute time limit. Do we have any audience members who would like to speak?
Hello, my name is Andrew Keck. I live at 1275 Gilday Court. So this is about the installation of the sculpture attributed to the Civics Day program. My question is, do you have any numbers on how many people would be interested in having some sort of sculpture in Hamilton involving this program?
Well, generally, we've gotten really good feedback from both the schools. Considering these are the students participating in it, and the adults have, in the city, who we worked with so far, have had really good feedback on it. I mean, our city is known as the city of sculptures, so I think including more would never be a no from Hamilton. It's just about what we do with it and what's the meaning behind it, so we can truly showcase how our city runs things and makes it better.
Can you tell me where this sculpture would be placed in Hamilton?
So typically we're right now looking at putting it in place of the rotating sculptures at the Fitton Center, and we would make it a permanent installation in that spot. We've already gotten good feedback from the Fitton Center. They've already said they'd be interested in the project, so until we get this fully confirmed, we won't have that done, but hopefully today we can get it done so we can look forward to that.
And my final questions are, how much money would this cost, and where would the money come from?
So we're looking at $15,000 at the most. So far, what we're hoping to do is have Baden and Hamilton student councils come together. We would have a fundraiser before, and then after being presented, if both schools accept it, what they would do is after the fundraiser, split the amount of money, and then we'd have a little special placard on it that says donated from both of the student councils. So it would be the schools coming together to make the statue, and the statue would honor both schools.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, I'm Addie Schultz. I have a question regarding the resolution of installing the Little Lane libraries throughout Hamilton. And I was just wondering if, Abby Crazel, if you have installed any of these libraries before and if they have been successful.
Madam Mayor,
Of
may I
course.
speak? Yes, I did it with my 4-H group a few years ago, and we worked on it together, and it was a great experience. Honestly, I've used them before at my cousins' neighborhoods. Anyone I've ever talked to about this thing, it's been happening around America for about 20 years now, and everyone I talk to loves it. I think it's such a beneficial for the people who build it and put it together, and for the people in the community who will get to use it.
Another question, do you have a ballpark cost of how much it would be to create one of the libraries and install them?
If we buy the materials through the Free Little Libraries nonprofit, it would cost about $300 per library.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jordan Zeitz here. This does not pertain to any of your particular resolutions. I just have some questions for the council. It takes me a long time to get to my place of work, a lot of traffic. What are you going to do to fix this? Or could you direct somebody to help out with this?
City manager, would you like to make a comment on this?
Okay. Well, Baden, there's a large portion of the traffic, New London. If you've ever been there around 7 a.m., you know what I'm talking about. Baden is actually currently working on a new parking lot, actually close to completing, which is going to greatly benefit the traffic pattern, make it run so much smoother. That one street across from Baden that was recently closed, that's about to open back up again. We're in the clear. Traffic's about to be flowing smoother than ever. You're going to be amazed. Traffic's going to clear. Great things coming.
So do you think the cost for fixing traffic, a city issue, should be placed upon schools themselves to fix, or do you think the city should take part in it?
No comment.
We will look into that for you.
Thank you.
these samples, and I was chosen to be the purchasing agent for the city of Hamilton. And I have a question regarding proposal 4. So, Mr. Keep, regarding your proposal, what is the reasoning for constructing a new community center, seeing as Hamilton currently has the YMCA, the Fenton Center, and the Booker T. Washington Center?
Great question. It kind of would help with like hosting private and public events, kind of like having it open to host kind of meetings between 17 Strong and other community organizations, as well as youth sports, as we could host youth basketball, kind of something what the YMCA does, as well as hopefully trying to get both swim teams at the community center. So we have a lot of good plans for this, and also could be an alternate site if Spooky Nook is having AAU tournaments. It can also be hopefully a potential host too for AAU tournaments.
And what is the potential budget for construction?
We have a potential budget of 5 to 10 million, looking at like building a parking lot. Most of that money would hopefully, we would try to get that through grant funds.
And what is the plan of action for reallocating the provided funding to account for this project?
We will look into that for you.
And last question, what is the approximate timeline?
Hopefully we'll try to get this done in 2 to 3 years, but we will look into that for you as well.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, due to time constraint, we're going to have to wrap up the audience as citizens. So we now move on to the consent agenda, which basically includes all the staff reports. Moving on further. We're going to do council actions pertaining to new legislative items. I motion that a note be made upon the minutes that each member council was furnished a printed copy of each legislation prior to its being considered at this meeting. Do we have a second?
I second that motion.
All right, now we move on to new legislation. Number 1.
A resolution implementing an annual ice skating rink at Markham Park during winter months. Proposal by Councilmember Olivia Rogers.
Mayor,
Yes.
I believe that we should implement an annual ice skating rink in Markham Park during the winter months. Implementing this ice skating rink will provide several benefits, and here are a few possible reasons for implementation. Recreation and entertainment, community engagement, seasonal attraction, promotion of physical activity, and winter tourism. As we see with the Fountain Square ice skating rink in Cincinnati, that it brings a lot of people to that area to ice skate during the winter months. And that is quite a distance for a lot of people who can't make it to Cincinnati. And I feel like having an ice skating rink in Hamilton would be a lot more beneficial to those who cannot get around there and would like to ice skate.
All right. Do we have a motion that the resolution be adopted?
I move that an annual ice skating rink should be built in Markham Park in Hamilton, Ohio during the winter months.
I second this motion.
Any discussion? With no discussion, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Lux,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Balster,
No.
Crothers,
Yes.
R. Parsons,
Yes.
Krazel,
No.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
A motion adopted 5-2.
All right, now we move on to number 2.
A resolution directing the creation of a website with an approved list of trees that are healthy and can survive and thrive in Butler County. Proposal by Councilmember Cooper Parsons.
Madam Mayor,
Of course.
so I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but it's a little strange seeing trees that, are supposed to be in Florida that are in Hamilton, Ohio. And a lot of the times they can be invasive or just don't work and end up dying after a few years. So it might be a good idea to have a website that has a list of trees and how much they cost and that are native to southwestern Ohio, so we can promote better looking trees in residential areas and not let people plant trees that are just going to die and waste their money and time. The average small tree that is 6 feet or less only costs $50 to $150 to buy, but most of the time it's $50. And to plan it. If you were to hire somebody, it would only cost like $150, which is kind of worth it. And yeah, there's lots of beneficial trees, some of which can even, grow you things that you can eat. But yeah, it's not expensive at all. We can talk with the arborist to add it onto an already existing website, or we can pay somebody to create it, which would only be $500, which it's a one-time thing. It's not that much. And yeah, it might be a good idea to have in Hamilton.
All right, do we have a motion that this resolution be adopted?
I motion that this resolution be adopted.
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
so how will this be implemented in Hamilton? And if someone decides to plant an invasive species, will that be taken care of?
I mean, it's not really something that we can do. It's most of the time it's their private land. Technically, they can have it if they want, but by having a website that has a list of trees and ways to get them and how to plant them can possibly help them, not do that, hopefully.
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
how will people find out about this website?
I mean, that's a good question. We can advertise it. I'm sure if you look up, we can have links or something. Or, I know my grandma tried to plant a cherry tree in her backyard, and she called the arborist personally. So, I'm sure it might be helpful if you redirected her to this website. Cherry trees are not invasive to southwestern Ohio, by the way.
Also talking about problems in Hamilton, we can also probably have a link to Hamilton's 311 since people use it so much, especially for potholes. It'd be a good way to get them introduced to it. So
Good
do we?
idea.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. All right, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Lux,
Yes.
Roger,
Yes.
Balster,
Yes.
Brothers,
Yes.
R. Parsons,
Yes.
Crazel,
Yes.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Motion is adopted 7-0.
Moving on to new legislation number 3.
A resolution directing the installation of a sculpture in tribute to the Civic Day program. Proposal by Mayor Riley Lux.
So I'm sure we all know this program has literally gone on for forever. And there's nothing really in Hamilton that shows the work of the students other than the works themselves. So like the sign going into Hamilton from the expressway, that's one of them, bocce ball, the skate park. So we really want to show something that just honors this program as a whole. And so what not a great idea to bring both schools, Hamilton and Baden's student councils, to come together to not only do a fundraiser, which promotes coming together, but also they would be working together and having both of their names on a placard that honors Civic Day. And so the idea is, if you can see it, that we'd have a green and a blue string intertwining to show us working together. And hopefully it would be located at the Fenton Center. We are working on other locations at this moment, but since they've been interested in the private, in the final installation and never changing it again, we'll work with them before we move to any other location. Do we have a motion that this resolution be adopted?
I motion that this resolution be adopted.
Any seconds?
I second that motion.
Alrighty. Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
do you think it would be a good idea if things don't work out with Fenton Center to maybe put it at the dog park that somebody from Civic Day, helped put in? I feel like that might be a good idea.
We'd also be very interested in that.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
what is the proposed material and size of this sculpture going to be?
So we're looking at about 6 feet height-wise. It's probably going to be 4 feet width at the most. It's very small, and it's just going to be more of there's going to be almost a stone under it, so it elevates it, but the sculpture part is not going to be that big.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
would it be possible to come up with multiple designs and then survey the students of both schools for which they want the most?
We'd also be interested in this, but we would hope to let you know that all the citizen sculptures, of actual people, have been pushed up to prices of over $50,000. So the more detailed you get, the more money it gets, which would have to be, the student councils would have to vote on that. And if they're interested in paying more money, if they're interested in the project, we'd definitely be up to that. We're just trying to keep costs down. Any further discussion? All right. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Lux,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Balster,
Yes.
Carruthers,
Yes.
R. Parsons,
Yes.
Krazel,
Yes.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Motion adopted 7-0.
All right, now we move on to number 4, new legislation.
A resolution directing the construction of a community center in Hamilton, Ohio. Proposal by City Clerk Vincent Keep.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Hello, City Council. This is, my proposal is putting a community center in Hamilton similar to the one in Mason. If you've been to Mason, Ohio, or Mason High School, you may have noticed this. Some of the benefits here could be a place in Hamilton to host public and private events, like I said earlier, with 17 Strong and other community organizations. It could also be like a daycare facility in some sort of way, kind of like how the YMCA kind of has theirs, as well as basically a place to like watch kids if parents want to go work out or do anything at the community center. Also, like youth sports with some like youth basketball, or maybe hosting like intramural sports for the elementary schools, as well as AAU tournaments for the swim teams of both Hamilton and Baden to also use the pools at the community center for their swim teams and swim meets as well. And also a place for like community, like if someone wants to have like a party or something, they could host a private event there. It could have features, exercise equipment, indoor fitness studio, competition pool, leisure pool, a whirlpool, 35 like rock climbing surface, an indoor walking track, field house, gymnasium, multi-purpose area for gymnastics, tumbling, and cheer, as well as a postal unit, gift shop, cafe, and meeting and party rooms, as well as locker rooms.
All right. Do we have a motion that this resolution be adopted?
I motion that this resolution be adopted.
Second?
I'll second that.
All right. Any discussion?
Mayor,
Yes?
is there any way that we could hold certain activities like this at the community centers that we already have in Hamilton?
Yes.
How much would the cost be to implement this?
We are looking at right now $5 to $10 million from research that we've gathered from the projects at Mason. We would try to gather this money through fundraisers and grant funds.
If you can't gather this money, do you have a backup plan?
At the moment, we will look into that, but at the moment, we do not.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
would there be a beneficial way of using a building that is already created so that we don't have to put in the new constructions for that?
We can look into that, but most definitely yes.
Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Lux,
Yes.
Rogers,
No.
Balster,
No.
Carruthers,
No.
Parsons,
Yes.
Krazel,
No.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Motion will not be adopted 4-3.
All right. Moving on to new legislation number 6.
A resolution authorizing the cooperation between the City of Hamilton and the Hamilton Lane Public Library to implement Little Free Libraries in Hamilton neighborhoods. Proposal by City Council Member Abby Krazel.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, so this resolution is going to be beneficial for both the neighborhoods and the neighborhood kids in Hamilton. I would like to put a lane library in each of the 17 neighborhoods. This would coincide well with the 17 Strong movement we have going on. I would like to call up the Director of Neighborhoods, Ava Glazer, to speak on this.
Hi, I'm Ava Glazer, the Director of Neighborhoods. I'd just like to say that this proposition is a great way to build community and help people foster new bonds. And I'd also like to say that this movement goes strongly with the values of 17 Strong as it works to build community. So this proposal is a great addition to the 17 Strong. Thank you.
All right. Do we have a motion that this resolution be adopted?
I motion that this resolution be adopted.
Second?
I second that motion.
All righty. Any discussion? All right. Roll call vote, please.
Lux,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Balster,
Yes.
Carruthers,
Yes.
R. Parsons,
Yes.
Krazel,
Yes.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Motion adopted 7-0.
All right, now we move on to new legislation number 7.
A resolution promoting refurbishing parks within the city of Hamilton, Ohio. Proposal by Vice Mayor Bella Balster.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
So this proposal will provide a beautiful space for families, communities, and celebrations to take place. It would also accomplish engaging the youth population in the city and promoting their pride within their city that they live. It would give the city of Hamilton community a wonderful outdoor space, and the youth would know what it is like to have an upbeat parks that are fun for them to partake in. The youth would feel like they have a place in the community, and they would. Many things for the Hamilton is adult-oriented, and the youth cannot partake in these. This would encourage their engagement and promote the 17 Strong's goal of providing a framework for communication and a sense of identity to rally individuals, groups, and other organizations to take pride in their particular corner of our city. And I would like to call upon Skylar Japixie.
Hello, I'm Skylar Japixie. I'm the Parks Conservancy Director. I believe that this policy is vital to the reintroduction of youth into society, especially because of COVID-19. Refurbishing and modernizing our parks will help our youth have a safe place that they can take pride in their own neighborhoods, and it will lead to a lot more community involvement. Thank you.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
is there any particular parks you have in mind when you're thinking about this, or just all the parks?
As we know, like Markham Park would not need much refurbishing due to its like large nature already, but parks that are smaller, like the Pershing Park right by Baden, could be using like a new basketball course that many people could partake in new games there, along with other parks like that.
Mayor,
Yes.
are there specific parts of the park that you're looking into specifically refurbishing? Because I know that some parks have already gone through that process, so I just was wondering.
Yeah, parks that do not need to be modernized obviously will not be, which will help with costs, but if the community all agrees that they would prefer to have their parks modernized in any way, then we could institute that.
Thank you.
All right, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Can we have a motion before the roll call vote?
My bad. Do we have a first motion?
I motion this resolution to be adopted.
Second?
I second that motion.
All right. Roll call vote?
Lux,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Balser,
Yes.
Carruthers,
Yes.
R. Parsons,
Yes.
Praisel,
Yes.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Quickly, we're going to go back to number 5.
A resolution directing the organization of a Christmas-centered event lasting throughout the month of December, spreading holiday cheer, along with promoting the 17 Strong organization. Proposal by City Council Member Reese Parsons.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
my proposal is that in each of the 17 historic neighborhoods of Hamilton, the 17 Strong organization will work to put a Christmas tree as kind of a blank canvas, and encourage each of the residents of each of the 17 neighborhoods to decorate the trees in a way that they feel represents their neighborhood and their community. And citizens will be encouraged to vote and visit all of the trees and vote on which they believe is the best. This will be encouraged, voting will be encouraged by gathering coupons and discounts and different incentives from small businesses throughout Hamilton, local businesses as well, to be received by people after they have provided proof that they have visited all 17 Christmas trees, which can be accomplished by putting QR codes at the site of each tree, and citizens can scan them, and once they have scanned all 17, they will unlock these incentives, and then they will be able to vote as well. And the winning tree every year will receive an ornament, kind of like a placard, to go on the citywide Christmas tree.
Do we have a motion that this resolution be adopted?
I motion that this resolution be adopted.
Second?
I second.
Any discussion?
Madam,
Yes.
how do you expect the news to go about this? So, like, how do you expect people to find out about the trees?
Obviously, just the word of mouth, for one, of like a random Christmas tree popping up in the middle of your neighborhood would be a big one, along with the businesses that are providing incentives, promoting them, flyers around schools. There's a million ways we can promote this. I don't think people finding out would be a problem, but this would be mutually beneficial to the communities, each of the 17 neighborhoods. It will work to promote these small businesses that are providing incentives. It will work to promote the 17 Strong organization, and it'll provide a good tradition to start in Hamilton.
Do you think that making a specific social media page could help out?
I do think that would be beneficial. I think a social media page for the entire event altogether, or for each of the 17 neighborhoods, would work to promote friendly competition and get people really working on their trees. Yeah, I do think.
Thank you.
Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Do we have a motion? We do, okay, by fault.
We already motioned.
Lux,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Balser,
Yes.
Carruthers,
Yes.
R. Parsons,
Yes.
Krazel,
No.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 6-1.
All right, moving on to new legislation number 8.
A resolution lowering the voting age of Hamilton residents over 15 years of age who have taken a civics class to vote in local Hamilton elections. Proposal by City Manager Aaron McMillan.
I think it is critically important to engage the youth in government. I think there's really an unaddressed problem of the rising apathy towards government among youth. I think a lot of people don't care unless it directly involves them, and I think participation could greatly improve the youth's interest in government. I think involving the youth in local elections would greatly reflect Hamilton's ideals of engagement and community. I think students are beyond qualified because of how recently they've taken government classes. I think it's important to establish the need to advocate for what students believe in. I think that's a really important skill that not enough people have. And I think if you can legally operate a car, you should totally be able to vote.
Do we have a motion that this resolution be adopted?
I motion that this resolution will be adopted.
I second.
Any discussion?
Mayor,
Yes.
my question is, how do you expect the registration to go and to prove that you have taken one of the classes?
I think that could be very easily done through schools. I know we do a lot of voter registration through schools as of now.
Thank you.
I also like to call up Director of Law Miranda Weisenberger to make some comments.
Hello, I'm Miranda Weisenberger, Director of Law. I'm advocating for this resolution because lowering the voting age will allow our youth to be involved in government issues affecting Hamilton, which will prepare them for voting in more large-scale elections in the future. This will increase voter turnout now and for future generations. Since youth will be better informed about the issues that Hamilton is facing, they will be able to make educated, informed decisions they believe will benefit Hamilton as a whole. These students have perspectives on issues that affect their lives just like these issues affect the lives of other generations. Therefore, the voting age should be lowered. While this resolution is non-binding, we hope to move towards an amendment to the city charter. Thank you.
All right, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Lux,
Yep.
Rogers,
Yes.
Balser,
Yes.
Carruthers,
Yes.
R. Parsons,
Yes.
Krazel,
Yes.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Now we move on to new legislation number 9.
A resolution promoting the establishment of blue light emergency phones within the city of Hamilton, Ohio. Proposal by City Clerk Gracie Long. Madam Mayor?
Yes.
The city of Hamilton should establish the blue light emergency stations in particularly dense areas with high crime rates. Emerging in the late 1900s, the emergency blue light box has recently seen an increase in quantity across the country, especially on college campuses, as well as in the city of Hamilton near grocery stores such as the Kroger on Main Street. These blue light towers act as a public address systems to ensure the security of individuals throughout the city. They enable individuals to easily make emergency calls and efficiently direct first responders to their location in the event of danger. Despite blue light emergency boxes focusing on specific areas of concern, for example, the need to suppress instances of assault on college campuses or burglaries in the parking lot of stores, these stations possess an extensive range in the safety that they can engender in the city of Hamilton. Additionally, these blue light emergency stations impede the possibility of crime rates in the area, as seen in as seen in 67.74% decrease in crime rate at Rice University after their installment on the campus. Not only would the general public of Hamilton live in a city with less crime rates and more soundness, they would also feel more secure and more comfortable to travel around the city.
All right, do we have a motion that this resolution be adopted?
I motion that this resolution be adopted.
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
I would like to call up Police Chief Mr. Ben Bornhagen to make comments about this.
Hi, my name is Ben Bornhagen, Chief of Police. I believe this resolution is going to be great because from what I've seen throughout the city, that this would greatly decrease the crime rate throughout the city. It'll ensure safety among the citizens. Thank you.
Roll call vote, please.
Lux.
Yep.
Rogers.
Yes.
Balser.
Yes.
Carruthers.
Yes.
R. Parsons.
Yes.
Krazel.
Yes.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Motion adopted 7-0.
Now we move on to new legislation number 10.
A resolution directing the installation of plaques with the record of the history of certain influential buildings in the city of Hamilton, Ohio. Proposal by City Council Member Roe Carruthers.
Mayor.
Yes.
The goal of these plaques will be to educate the youth and visitors of Hamilton about our fascinating past. I think these signs will be beneficial to Hamilton and have worked well in countless other cities. During this time, I would like to call on the Director of Economic Development, Ms. Lena Trokin.
Hi, I'm Lena Turkin. I'm the Director of Economic Development, and I believe that this proposal will lead to enhanced civic pride among our residents, as well as improve the visitor experience of people coming to Hamilton. And along with that, the economic benefit of more visitors coming to Hamilton, as well as longer stays and stopping at different businesses, will exceed the cost of the proposal. And as we're obviously in a period of new developments in Hamilton, it is also crucial to maintain our history, and I think that this proposal would help do that. Thank you.
All right, do we have a motion that this resolution be adopted?
I motion that this resolution be adopted.
I second that motion.
Any further discussion?
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
I think this is a good idea as a proud Hamiltonian. I think it would increase civic pride. I also think, I actually had a conversation with Mr. Braun on my way over here about little squares in the ground with quotes from Alexander Hamilton. And I talked about how I had never noticed them before, but apparently they've been here my entire life. So I just had a question as to how you would promote these and get the word out about them.
We could post about them on like various social media platforms. Maybe 17 Strong could post about them, or other sort of like social media platforms could post about them.
Madam Mayor.
Yeah.
What is the estimated price per placard, and what is the rough amount of placards you like?
The estimated price per placard is like $1,000 to $2,000, depending on the material and the size of the placard. And then I have it budgeted at like $10,000, but yeah.
Thank you.
All right, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Lux.
Yep.
Rogers.
Yes.
Balser.
No.
Carruthers.
Yes.
R. Parsons.
Yes.
Krazel.
Yes.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted 6-1. Excuse me.
All right, now we move on to the audience of the city manager. City manager, do you have anything to say?
There's a lot of great things going on in Hamilton right now. As Andrew adequately covered earlier, I think our football team, undefeated, incredible. Great job, guys. Hamilton's football team, winning record. Nice to hear. Dayton parking lot, going to greatly improve traffic. Mr. Seitz is going to get to school on time. It's going to be great. Civic Club's going to Columbus this weekend. So that's going to be crazy. Lots of great things afoot. Like, I think the city is really, like, there's lots going on, especially during this season. Great things coming.
All right, now we move on to the audience of city council. City council, do you have anything to say?
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Well, for going off what the city manager said, Hamilton having a winning record, this is the first time it's happened since 2010. First playoff win in our school's 126-year history over Sycamore. We have won state championships, but that was like pre-playoff era. So, And we would like to wish luck to both Hamilton and Baden as they play Princeton and Bellbrook this weekend. Also, we'd kind of like to promote the basketball game between Hamilton and Baden on December 30th at Fairfield High School, the Butler County Classic. We would hopefully soon like to have this matchup, hopefully at Baden, but we wish luck to both basketball teams for this matchup.
All right, we'd like to thank you all so much for coming here. Next, we move on to adjournment. I motion that the regular meeting be adjourned. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All right, it's 11:14. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Lux.
Yep.
Rogers.
Yes.
Balster.
Yes.
Carruthers.
Yes.
R. Parsons.
Yes.
Crazel.
Yes.
C. Parsons.
Yes.
This motion is adopted 7-0.
The meeting is now adjourned.